So if you saw my most recent update, you'll see that I've made a decision to sell the tractor and probably the bus. Well, not probably, but I will sell the bus. But let's first take a look at the tractor. Now, I guess, you know, first of all, why did I buy it? Well, I suppose it was a bit of a spur of the moment, you know, spontaneous thing. I thought I want a tractor, and so I went and bought one, but it's probably pretty foolhardy given that, I mean, I don't really use it, and nor do I even have much of a use for it, given that this is only a hectare, you know, so it's only a couple of acres. I don't really need it. I don't plough anything, and if I want to carry something, I've got a ute and a trailer, you know, so what do you need a tractor for? So I've got a couple of steps for it, side steps for it, which I've got to put on. Then I'll give it a damn good clean, then I'll just list it as it is. And I can at least get my money back, so you know, all I will have done is sort of parked it for a while and then moved it on. So let's go and have a look at those side steps though, because that's going to be the first thing to do. This is the one for this side. It goes up under here and then hooks on there like that, and so it's held on with that bolt back there somewhere, there. You've got to pull this bolt off, because that's the one. Let's just check that and make sure. Don't pull the wrong one off. No, there we go. That one. That one right there. Well, we've hunted high, we've hunted low, we seek him here, we seek him there, in something or other, and Leicester Square. And no luck at all getting a bolt that's slightly longer, so what we'll do is, for now, just give the tractor a good old wash. I found a nut that fitted that bolt, and so we'll take that in. We'll ask for because it's 20 long, so we'll ask for a 25mm long bolt, or the shank or shaft is 25mm, and that ought to do the trick to be able to bolt that side step on. Because the problem with the side step, and I think I've pointed this out before, is that the bolt's not long enough once you add that extra thickness of metal to it. So we'll fix that, but for now let's get it started, assuming it will. It hasn't run in a while, and we'll give it a good wash. YouTube is in many ways just a huge search engine, in the sense that people turn to it to find answers to questions. So how do I lay concrete, or how do I fix a broken tile, or how do I clean a seat, or fit a window into a window frame? And increasingly, with the emergence of artificial intelligence, that may change. Now, I was looking for a bolt to fit those side steps on the tractor. And while I looked on YouTube for that kind of thing, there actually wasn't anything there. And this is reasonably common with reasonably rare items, so it's easy enough to find out how to pour concrete, but not necessarily how to fit side steps onto a tractor, and or, I don't know, fix a frozen shutter on a camera or such like. So I turned back to Google AI, which is Gemini, and asked about it, and not only did it tell me how to go about it, it told me the bolt, or the size of the bolt that I need in order to replace the existing bolt, because the existing bolt is too short. Once you put the steps on, it's not long enough to go through the step, or the side of the step bracket, and into the transmission casing, and it just won't catch. You know, the thread is right on the very edge, so it won't catch, so it's nowhere near enough to hold it. And I pulled the bolt out and went looking for one in the shed, and I got tubs and tubs of bolts, but I couldn't find one. But I did actually manage to find a nut that the bolt fitted, so I knew then that I could take that nut in and ask the bolt supplier for a bolt that would fit that nut. And then I measured the shaft, so I knew I needed to get longer than that. Now back to the searching with AI, I then asked Google what that bolt was. And not only did it tell me that it was a 7/16 UNC, which is Unified National Course thread, it told me the length that I need. So the existing one is 20 mil, and while it talks in inches, it suggested getting something that was about 30 mil, for example, you know, so giving me an extra 10 mil of reach to get into it. One thing it did get wrong, however, though, is it said that it was a blind hole, and that I should, you know, insert something like a screwdriver into it and then measure how far it goes before it bottoms out. And it's actually not blind at all. It goes all the way through into the transmission housing. Anyway, that aside, that may be the case with a different model, and in my case that isn't so. But the point is, though, that I didn't go to YouTube for that, and had I done so and found something, I'd have to, you know, scroll through a 20 or a 30-minute video to find that out. Like someone will have to do if they're looking at mine and saying, well, I wonder what that thread is. Oh, well, this fellow's fitted some, so he'll be able to tell me. I actually found it out from Gemini in moments, you know, as I said, telling me not only that it was a 7/16 UNC, but the length that I needed in order to go all the way through that step
and still go into the housing. So I've just been and picked two up. Here they are, they're stuck into the nut, or screwed into the nut so that I can keep them together. But these are the ones that I need to fix those side steps.